We're back at it again, friends. Welcome back to the Daily Dose. Thank you for joining me. We're hitting you with day number 179 today, right? So we are approaching the end of Jeremiah here pretty soon. We're looking at Jeremiah chapters 40 through 44 today. We also have Psalm 24 on the plate. So the things that we're going to touch on today are as follows. We're going to be looking at Jeremiah getting freed. We're going to look at a person named Gedaliah, who is assassinated. We're going to look at a flight to Egypt, and not a flight like get on an airplane, but a flight as in fleeing to Egypt. And then we're going to look at a section that talks about some disaster because of idolatry that had been going on, okay? So in regards to Jeremiah getting freed, this is the beginning of chapter 40 where we look at this. The word came to Jeremiah from the Lord after Nebuchadnezzar, commander of the imperial guard, had released him at Ramah. Okay, so apparently when Nebuchadnezzar had taken over, broken into the city walls, I guess he ends up freeing Jeremiah, okay? We're told that he found Jeremiah bound in chains among all the captives from Jerusalem and Judah who were being carried into exile to Babylon. When the commander of the guard found Jeremiah, he said to him, "The Lord your God decreed this disaster for this place, and now the Lord has brought it about. He has done just as he said he would. All this happened because you people sinned against the Lord and did not obey him." Huh, interesting. So apparently, even the Babylonians knew about this guy Jeremiah. They knew about him, about what he was saying, about his prophecies, and they knew about the God that he served. Interesting. So then this guard goes on to say, the commander of the guard, "But today I am freeing you from the chains on your wrists. Come with me to Babylon if you like, and I will look after you. But if you do not want to, then don't come. Look, the whole country lies before you. Go wherever you please." So here, Jeremiah is being quite literally given a get-out-of-jail-free card, right? And that's interesting. The commander of the guard seems to be saying, look, if you want to come to Babylon, I'll look after you. Like, hey, I got your back. You'll have it made. Just come with me to Babylon. Or if you don't want to do that, hey, I'm not going to mess with you. You go, you do you. Go live your best life, right? So we move on from there to look at a section about this Gedaliah person and then being assassinated, right? And so here's a little backdrop for that. The king of Babylon had appointed Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, as governor over the land, and had put him in charge of the men, women, and children who were poorest in the land and who had not been carried into exile to Babylon. Okay, so this Gedaliah dude was apparently someone that the king of Babylon had put in charge of the people that remained in the land that did not get taken as captives to exile. Okay. So then this person, Johanan, son of Kareah, and all the army officers still in the open country came to Gedaliah at Mizpah and said to him, "Don't you know that Baalis, king of the Ammonites, has sent Ishmael to take your life?" Okay, so again, they're still kind of back in the area of the promised land. Not all of them have been taken to captivity in Babylon. So now it looks like some of the other people around, the Ammonites, the Moabites, all these other people groups that have been around for quite a while, it looks like now they're saying, hey, there's only a little remnant left of Israel. Let's go take them out. So that seems to be what's happening here. So in the 7th month, Ishmael's son Nethaniah, the son of Elishama, who was of royal blood and had been one of the king's officers, again referring to the king of Ammon, the Ammonites, he came with 10 men to Gedaliah. While they were eating together there, Ishmael, son of Nethaniah, and the 10 men who were with him got up and struck down Gedaliah. Struck down with the sword, killing the one whom the king of Babylon had appointed as governor over the land. Now that's interesting. I would imagine that since Nebuchadnezzar had appointed this guy as governor over the land, that if you mess with this Gedaliah person, right, the person who the king had put in charge, I would imagine the king is going to take it as, hey, you're messing with him too. So I don't know how smart of a move that was for the Ammonites and for these folks to come in there and try to carry out this little assassination attempt, right? Because it very well may not go well for them when Babylon finds out. So then we read about this flight to Egypt, okay? And it goes like this. "Remnant of Judah, the Lord has told you, do not go to Egypt. Be sure of this. I warn you today. that you made a fatal mistake when you sent me to the Lord your God and said, pray to the Lord our God for us. Tell us everything he says, and we will do it. I have told you today, but you still have not obeyed the Lord your God in all that he sent me to tell you. So now, be sure of this. You will die by the sword, famine, and plague in the place where you want to go to settle. So here, God is giving them direction. Hey, don't go to Egypt. If you do, it is not going to go well for you at all. It's not the right move. Do not do it. But then we come to find out Johanan, son of Kareah, and all the army officers and all the people disobeyed the Lord's command to stay in the land of Judah, right? So the Lord wanted them to stay in the land of Judah, and he was going to take care of that remnant that was left, but they decided not to. So they entered Egypt in disobedience to the Lord and went as far as Taphanes. Okay, well, if you want to find out more about what happens, you got to jump in and read it for yourself. The last section we're going to look at briefly today is disaster because of idolatry. And here's what it says. Therefore, this is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. I am determined to bring disaster on you and destroy all Judah. I will take away the remnant of Judah who were determined to go to Egypt and settle there. They will all perish in Egypt. They will fall by the sword or die from famine. From the least to the greatest, they will die by sword or famine. They will become a curse and an object of horror, a curse and an object of reproach. I will punish those who live in Egypt with the sword, famine, and plague, as I punished Jerusalem. None of the remnant of Judah who have gone to live in Egypt will escape or survive to return to the land of Judah, to which they long to return and live. None will return except a few fugitives. So there you have it. That is what we've got going on for today. That's all I got for y'all. And like I always do, I'm going to encourage you to jump in and go read that scripture for yourself and see how God speaks to you through his word. And hey, thanks for being here, and we'll do it again. So until we meet again, hopefully tomorrow, God willing, deuces.